Hello, everybody. Sorry, I was like, I was like messing around with my laptop. I was like, I wonder when stream's gonna start. I gotta kick it off. Well, hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I also forgot to turn on my wireless display so you guys can see what I'm working on. So let me get that set up real quick. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good one. Just finished a little drawing session. Completely nuked my Captain America werewolf drawing, and I'm quite upset about it. But what can you do? We'll be talking about that, how it's made me feel, um, how to avoid that next time, because we don't just fail blindly, we fail with a purpose, or at least try to find some purpose in it so we could do better next time. And if we can't, then we cry about it. But let's see, getting it all set up there. Cool, cool. Over here. Why is that? Ah. There we go. Cool. So, yep. Oh, did I mess with the camera settings? I did not. let's let's mess with the camera settings. It resets itself every time. It makes me so upset that it does this. And now I can't. There we go. All I have to do is just like literally press one of the settings and it all reverts to normal. But in the meantime, it is quite annoying when it does this. So, anyways, barring some mishaps getting set up, let's get started. I have a plan because I'm getting a lot of new equipment for streaming and art and the such. So coming up, I'm gonna have to like rearrange my entire room. It's gonna be intense. Lots of different stuff happening, but I think it'll result in a much higher stream quality, especially with all the money that we're putting into it. But I mean, this is my big hobby, so. Like, I don't drink, I don't smoke or any of that, so I convince myself it's okay to invest so much money and time into this. Uh, and let it be my vice, despite not making any money from it. Then again, yeah, I don't think you'd make much money from smoking and etc. But yeah, pretty bummed about that drawing. I had high expectations at the end there with the inking. And I guess I didn't have many expectations with the man, I'm already warmed up. Look at that line work. I've been used brush pen all day. I love brush pen. And in fact, the initial sketch before I started shading was going really well. And I was having a lot of fun with the brush pen. So I think like a big thing to take away from this is, if I have pencils, I should plot out the strokes beforehand, right? Because I had general sections. Okay. Hopefully, I'm not gonna butcher your name. Mizu Akai or Aki? I'm assuming it's Akai. Hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. I'm rambling right now as we warm up. We have a 10-minute warm up timer about a previous drawing I was working on and how it didn't totally go to plan, sadly. Another thing was, yeah, I wasn't, another thing that kind of failed that I didn't do too well in that drawing was, the techniques I was using to create value with ink. I just didn't understand them. I didn't know where to employ them or how. Starting your drawing journey with me, huge. Are you starting today, or have you already started? Are you a beginner like me? I mean, yeah, I guess if you started today, you'd also be a beginner. But awesome, cool stuff. What are you hoping to learn and do with art? Nope, starting today. Wow. Well, congrats. That's awesome stuff. I'm about almost 3 years, 2.5 years, 2.5 years of drawing on my end. I still consider myself, you're actually an animator, so your sole goal is to improve your animation skills, and learning how to draw is a step for me. Huge. Are you wanting to become an animator, or are you already an animator? It's fine, it's totally fine. Don't worry, I will not dock you any points for grammar here. Yep, just graduated. Oh my goodness, huge. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. So yeah, I'm you have probably a little bit more experience than me, but huge. That's great. Currently finding a job. That's the rub. You know, that's the hardest part of college, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, I currently am in college, about to graduate. However, I'm not in college for drawing. I do computers. I work with computers, so. Which is a bit of a contrast to drawing, but I think it pairs quite well. Well, huge. What is your favorite stuff to draw and or animate? Around 20, yeah. In my early 20s. Heck yeah. And to consider we're, young in our respective industries. Spent 4 or however many years studying our crafts, and now we go into the real world and have even more to learn. Awesome stuff. Yeah, today I learn art through something called Drawbox, which is basically, this sounds like a sponsorship. It isn't. They don't pay me at all. Drawbox, and they don't pay me because they probably couldn't for sponsorships, because it's a completely free program. You can pay for like official critique, but that's like not at all required. You can go through everything without it. Anyways, yeah, I'm doing something called Drawbox. So it's like constructional drawing. So, you can use observational techniques to draw, but that doesn't totally help your imagination, right? Because if you don't have something in front of you, you have nothing to observe. It makes it harder to observationally draw. And of course, you can increase your visual library with observational drawing. But instead, constructional drawing is like, hey, if we have basic 3-dimensional shapes, you're really comfortable with those, we could draw anything we want, so long as we know how to build it. Yo, what's up, Gems? How's it going? Oh, Twitch isn't working. No, Twitch chat isn't working. Mizu, we also stream on Twitch at the same time. So we usually have Twitch members in here. Sadly, I think my Twitch token didn't refresh. So actually, yeah, what I can fix it. I don't want to though, because it'll just be a whole thing. I could maybe do it during BRB. I'll try to do it during BRB. I'm currently learning, so for now, I like to animate acting shots, but I'm learning how to draw for dynamic action shots. Cool. Yeah, I don't know your drawing experience, but if you're, a complete baby like me, or you just want to, pick up some constructional drawing, I highly recommend Drawbox. If not, New Masters Academy and Proco. It's the same name on Twitch. It is Kavel_draws. And we have music. We don't play music on YouTube for people who don't want to listen to music, and we play music on Twitch for those. That's what this is right here. Also, Jims, I hope you're doing well. How's it going? I saw you passed. You passed your quantum computing class. Congrats. You're a 3D animator. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. Okay, huge. Shoot, that's so cool, man. If I had infinite time, I would totally pick up 3D animation and modeling. I cannot tell you how jealous I am, because it looks so intriguing, it looks so enjoyable, it looks so rewarding. Sure, it's difficult. It is difficult, right? I will not undersell that, but man, it looks cool. And Jims, I am doing Okay, I was in a pretty rough mood earlier with how poorly, or like I messed up my drawing that I put in art or whatever the art share chat is. Um, Specifically, it looks okay. Just the key goals that I went into it with didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And that really upset me. Um, and some other stuff. I usually don't get in this kind of like slump mood just because of art, and it wasn't. But that did definitely contribute. However, in exploring and preparing for this drawing, I learned a ton about how I want to do it and stuff like that. So I really hope you start. It's much easier to learn 3D animation than 2D for me. Yeah, it seems like definitely the time cost, right? In fact, when I was younger, I played with SFM, a Source Filmmaker, a lot. I can never pose people organically, and it always really made me mad. But it does look quite fun. Thank you, James. But 3D modeling specifically. Because then I can make I can make my own 2D games, but ironically, I don't like playing 2D games. So like if I learned 3D modeling, I could have the best of both worlds. And hey, maybe one day I'll do that. But for now, we have boxes and mice to draw, of which I'm still mad about our mouse mistake we had the other stream, but we learned a lot. Lots of learning. Why does learning have to hurt so much? Learning is rough. Heck yeah. What do you use to animate in? Or like what is your preferred animation software? Autodesk Maya. Shout out. I've heard that's kind of the industry standard. In fact, at my college, they use that here. What is your favorite things to animate or draw or whatever? Like, what is? Do you have a specific? I wouldn't say goal. Goal doesn't sound like the right word, but like, do you have anything that you love to animate or would love to animate? No, I'm skipping the Minecraft song. I love cat, but we're skipping it. Ah! We're back. Okay, cool. So, we're going to do BRB, everybody. For those who don't know, we're gonna. I would love to animate arcane stuff. Oh heck yeah! Who wouldn't, dude? That sounds awesome. Cool, cool. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 minutes of BRB. What this means is over on Twitch, we're gonna run 2 minutes of ads, and I'm gonna try to fix the Twitch chat thing on the side. If you're whatever, go get some water, chill out for a second, reorient yourself. If you're starting to draw, get all your pins in an order, get set up, all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll be back in about 2 minutes. I'm gonna try to get Twitch chat working. Yeah, be right back. Uh-oh, it seems like ads is over by the way, but it seems like I can't get the Twitch chat thing back up, which is a bit concerning. Let me make sure I'm targeting the correct Twitch secret, yeah? Huh. Man, what's going on here? It's never easy. It never is. Oh, huge! Welcome, welcome. Thank you for hopping over, Akira. And here, I'm gonna continue to try to fix Twitch chat now that we have 2 friends over on Twitch. Yeah, let's see what works. If only, actually, this isn't my coding mistake, or kind of is. It's just unfortunate. So let's keep trying to work on this, keep trying to fix this. Once again, my apologies for the delay. But I would like for you guys to be able to appear on stream, and maybe you guys would appreciate that as well. Okay, so it is targeting the correct bat file. We just need to figure out batch file, whatever. Okay, let's try this one more time. And then, yeah, if it doesn't work, we'll just be Twitch chatless this stream, unfortunately. Oh wait, no, that's my Twitch client ID. We do not want to mess with that. And here, I'm gonna manually start it instead of doing it through OBS. Hopefully that'll fix things. Error. Ooh, forbidden URL. Interesting. Okay. I don't know why that's happening. Forbidden URL even though I own the account. Well, okay. We're going to be chatless. I apologize, guys. I have to figure that out in some other time. And of course, I can still read your chat and everything. It just won't be on screen. So anyways, I'm going to take a sip of water. Then we're going to get back to our mouse demo. Cool, cool. So we don't have much remaining in our mouse demo. Back to here it is. Try to focus up. It is getting pretty chaotic. I'm happy with it. Just, we've made some very, very silly mistakes that I wish we didn't. Yeah, so starting off, we want to, and here we can do this now. Thank you, thank you. We're kind of like right here in Uncomfortable's demo. And he rather incorrectly, I would like to argue, just tosses an ellipse through here, like willy-nilly. I'm going to like plot it out. Thankfully, we already, we have this square kind of occupied. I wish, actually, we yeah, effectively what we could do is we can just draw an ellipse right here. We will need to make a true square, which would be impossible, or like not, I don't know how to do it. We could just use our ruler. That would be a thing. Just I don't know how to do that with like proportions and stuff, so we're not gonna worry about that too much. We have the little decal right here and some of the buttons, and then the major cut inside the middle of it, which once again I kind of wish Uncomfortable gave us some basis for where that cut should happen. It seems he kind of. Oh, what we can do is we can plot points of where we think it should be, where the cut should occur. We know this happens at the third, so we can just plot a random point at the third on both sides. I'm cool with that. The wheel and that. So I think we will start. We'll start with the cut. No, we'll start with the curve over here. So that requires us to kind of set up the weird, silly, wacky points we discussed over here and then kind of project them, I guess, onto the surface of our mouse. So we'll do that. And here, I'll hide chat. Actually, no, I'll keep chat open for anyone on YouTube. However, it may confuse some people why I'm talking to nobody. Then again, I've spent many a stream talking to nobody, so I don't think that's anything new. So yeah, let's subdivide this. Find our points. We are lucky we know that the first point will be right here. So that benefits us. I think you need a doctor. Jeez, James. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, probably. Point here. So we just need to plot these 2 points. Sadly, they're the hardest because one of them is a fifth. Also, this would have been... Today's Friday, right? Yeah, holy crap. I talked to the stream. Oh, shoot. Akira, thank you for the follow. I didn't even see that. Why is it not showing up on my activity feed? Akira, once again, thank you for the follow. It's very kind. Yeah, let's subdivide it a little bit. Yeah, no, I actually have, this semester, I'm not going to say I live alone, but my roommate's not here most of the time. And so I am just effectively here on my own all the time. And so yeah, I do talk to myself. Not like Golem, right? But I just I'll watch a video on my phone, I'll give commentary on it. I'll be like, that was stupid. Or that was cool. Or that was funny, Or I'll talk out what I have to do in the day, help me stay organized and all that good stuff. I need to go grab this, I need this, I need that. You talk to Bella, I'd say talking to Bella is less insane than talking to yourself purely, right? Because Bella, she can listen. She may not understand, but she can listen. Meanwhile, I'm just straight talking to myself, There's no one to hear but me and the mice within my walls or something, It's a skill in and of itself. Very true. Alrighty. So we have those 2 points. I'm going to divide this one into fifths. Oh, I should probably do a vertical line. I'm glad that we have so many lines existing on this page already that I really don't have to worry about plotting things to VPs. Does that mean we inherently drop in accuracy? Yes. Do I care? No. I'm very much no cares given for this portion of Drawbox. Cool. Let's do our fifths. Actually, maybe we didn't need that point. Oh no, we did. We did. Cool. Eh? Oh. Interesting. This Kavel guy is pretty stupid. Don't tell him I said that, though. Where is that line coming from, though? I see. This one. That's a fifth. And then where does our vertical fifth come from? That comes from right here. And we're just gonna, these are so small, I'm just gonna use the law of, or we're not calling it the law of close lines anymore because that's technically incorrect. It's not a law, I guess. Something like this. I've been rewatching Mob Psycho. I forget how great that anime is. It's so underrated. I know it has a big fan base behind it. I still believe it's underrated though. I think it needs so much more attention and love. especially compared to One Punch Man, especially compared to Punch Man right now after season 3. Oof. Yeah. So why did I do this when I have to project it over here? I don't really know. It's a good question, but so yeah, we're gonna go from here to here. Curves implied. And then we're gonna go from here to, let's see, that's a third. What inspired you to start drawing? If it was My Hero. I just wanted to express myself more. I specifically remember I started working out and doing calisthenics a year. So okay. Before I went to college, I picked up calisthenics. I was like, holy crap, this has changed my life. It's a great hobby. I love it. And I was like, I should pick up another hobby. And when I was younger, I tried to draw and gave up very quickly. So I was sitting on the toilet in my dorm hall, and I saw a Instagram reel about Drawbox, and I was like, you know what? Once summer happens, I'll try that out. And then I started drawing. And the weird part is, like, I wouldn't consider myself like a huge person into art beforehand, but Drawbox got me into art and got me into loving it a ton. And now I have some goals, like maybe one day I would like to make a comic or whatever else it may be. And those are good goals, but I am just kind of in it for drawing whatever I want, whenever I want, and enjoying it for the sake of that and nothing else. Because it makes me very satisfied and fulfilled to make these things. And of course, seeing work like Ryukokoi and Kurumi Stormpin and Turan, especially Turan Fiddlers, I want to make stuff like that. It's the reason I'm an animator now. Heck yeah. Looks like this I did a 5th, and I could have transferred that line. No, I didn't. It was a 3rd. Don't lie to me, Cav. I know that's a 3rd. Is it? That's a 5th. I just was wildly inaccurate. Always good to see. I'm just going to project this backwards here. And then we know it connects right here. Holy crap. So we're going to go up. Oof. I wanted to like My Hero. I really did. I gave it the 3-episode rule. I couldn't get behind the main character's vibe as well. I didn't jive with him as much, so I haven't finished My Hero. It looks beautiful. It's a great looking show. Just sadly, I didn't get into it too much. Deku is his name, right? Kind of letting my intuition now solve where these lines should be. Deku, yeah. I forgot my grandma texted me earlier, and I should probably text her back. Yes, lest I get yelled at. I'll worry about that after stream. A lot of lesson 5 influences coming in here. So, like I said, Akira, we are in something called Drawbox, and there's 7 lessons and 2 challenges that you have to complete in order to like graduate Drawbox. There's other challenges and stuff too, but I'm focused on just doing the main 7 right now. And lesson 5 was probably my favorite, and it involves a lot of additive forms. And so what we're doing right now is we're drawing on top of the mouse with some lines that would behave exactly like additive forms. So if you hear me reference other lessons or stuff like that, that's where it comes from. Ah, we curve that much inwards. So we're going to be like this probably. This is an assignment, yes. This is, when you get into lesson 4, 5, 6, and 7, which sounds like, man, that's over half of Drawbox, dude. Lesson 1, 2, and 3 are like on their, actually no, lesson 3 has demos as well. Anyways, yeah, once you get into lesson 3 through 7, you get demos. So he kind of walks you through drawing something and makes some of the hard decisions for you. And then after that, you're kind of on your own. So for example, in the lesson 5, which is all about animals, he gives us demos about like cougars and birds and stuff. And then you have to go out on your own using the techniques he kind of introduced there on your own. So it's kind of like he introduces the concept, he shows you how to do it, and then you have to do it on your own. So yeah, this is a demo for lesson 7. Lesson 7 is about constructing everyday objects. So like I said, we take a box with construction or some known rather simple shape, and we break it down into smaller, more easy to draw pieces, and then go from there. And so yeah, and all Drawbox kind of like stacks on each other. So the things you learn in lesson 1, you'll use for the rest of the lessons. Nice. Looks a bit large, either because we projected it poorly, or just because that sounds complicated. It builds on itself, so you don't notice it happening. Like it just becomes intuitive. Where Drawbox gets its name from is something called the 250 box challenge, where you have to draw 250 boxes. It's pretty self-evident. And so there's sometimes a misconception with this assignment. People think that assignment is just about drawing as many boxes as possible just to say I did it, or some other weird, vapid reason. No. It's about building our intuition. So when we see things in the real world, we've drawn so many boxes at that point where we could be like, oh, I could turn that into a box, right? And why are boxes so important? Well, they're the most basic unit of 3D space, right? I guess you could say a sphere is, but it gives us all 3 planes when looking at it in perspective. It's very helpful. So if you can break it down into boxes, you can start tackling really complicated stuff. So that's why you see Kim Jong-gi and a lot of other artists, whenever they draw people, they may start with boxes because they tell you a lot about what you're looking at. If you could see someone's face, well, that's just a square or a rectangle, right? And so then, boom, you have the frontal plane of the face. And sure, the face is much more complicated than a single plane. But that's not the point. It's to, simplify it first and then work down from there to whittle it out, kind of like we're doing right now. Now, you wouldn't do this kind of construction for a human, probably, unless you're, like, psychotic. But same thing applies. Yo, what's up, Cat? Chat currently isn't working right now. I broke it. So, for all those on Twitch, we have a longtime viewer, Cat, over on the YouTube side. She probably is just using YouTube because it drains her phone less. I'm always making stuff. How's it going? Oh, thank you, Akira, for going over to the YouTube side to say hello. So okay, we have this done. I hate that tangent line that's happening, but we're gonna have to deal with it. We now want to place our crevice or like center. I didn't start the timer. Shoot. Let's do some quick math. It's 42 minutes. Stream usually go for another 45 minutes, so we'll do a 45-minute timer. Just ate dinner. It's like 4:30 for you? 5:30? 5:30 would make sense. Dinner at 4. Old person hours. Shout out. What'd you have for dinner? And while Cat answers, let's try to figure out where we want to put this crevasse, right? Let's look at the, this is like the dent in the mouse. And it seems like uncomfortable put it past the middle point, but it's 3 a.m. for you. Oh my goodness. Akira, please get some sleep. Chinese food, huge. What kind of Chinese food? What'd you have? Oh my gosh, Akira, well, thank you for joining our stream so late, but I could totally understand if you, you're now, I gotcha. I get it. So here's our reference. As we can see, it does not go past, we can actually, look at this. We can like draw an imaginary line out and where the buttons are right here. So approximately halfway through this. So the crevasse starts probably at the halfway point, which is very nice. French fries with boneless ribs? Cat. I wouldn't consider the French fries Chinese food, and the boneless ribs, I don't know. Maybe that one, but did you get this from a Chinese food restaurant? I could consider the boneless ribs in retrospect, but it sounds good. It sounds great. Just that doesn't sound like Chinese food. Maybe the boneless ribs. Interesting. Okay, so our crevasse, right? Also, I just realized, like, the way we did this, I should have just done this off the reference and ignored what Uncomfy did. Anyways, we have a mouse, right, at least at the end of the day. So, also, I just realized a big mistake. I put a lot of line weight, but I should have, like, dampened it right here because we're going to cut into it. I'm deciding what I'm going to get for dinner tonight. I'm at the point in my apartment where I have no more food because I'm moving out in a couple days. And so I'm going to be eating out tonight. I got to decide. Definitely something cheap. But, because I the only food I have is breakfast for tomorrow and bread. And I can't just have bread for dinner. I was doing that for stuff like that for exams, but we no longer need to do that to ourselves. Okay, so yeah, we know we start at the center, and we have this like little notch right here, and then we go and we expand a little bit. Get some McDonald's. Pfft. I'm probably gonna eat like Chipotle, which is much more expensive, but come on, McDonald's, I could do better than that. I don't know how to make sure, other than just vibes. And here, I'm gonna take another sip of water. Heck yeah, Jims, congratulations. It's been a long time for this. How would you rate your college experience from 1 out of 10? 10 being awesome, amazing, best thing ever, and 0 being awful, I wish I never did this, horrible, terrible. These lines are curving up, right? Because this is a third, this is a half. So it curves up towards us. Which means if we drew a line through the side, we wouldn't be able to find a random intersection properly. Oh, sorry, Jim's cat says hi. 7.8, wow, huge. And yeah, Jim's just said she's graduating tomorrow. 7.8. I'm not gonna lie, I've been asking my friends the same question, and they've been rating much lower. So maybe it's university based, you know, like answers will vary depending on university. Also, I'm not feeling totally well, so if we finish the drawing today, early before stream ends, we're just gonna call it. I grew as a person, and some teachers were good, some were bad. I met my friends. Ah, shoot. Draw my ruler. Brick. Cat says congratulations. I like how Uncomfortable does have this kind of like divot. It like flattens out. But in this, it doesn't look like it flattens out at all. It kind of looks quite linear. Thank you. Alrighty, so based on this, I'm going to place a point right here. And by vibes, I'm going to place a point right here. And hope those are equivalent. Yeah, the rest of this is lesson 5 stuff, so just vibes. However, we do have a lot more helpful contour lines to kind of tell us what to do. Ooh, bumped my thing right there. So yeah, this looks okay. Maybe we should have gone larger, but I'm going to commit to it. There we go. That's one side of it. Yeah, there's not really any fancy techniques that I know of to, I just realized the curve should have, like, stopped right here. Curve's a bit messed up. Do you draw human portraits? No, I do not. I'm not particularly fond of drawing human faces, because it's hard. Maybe one day, but I'm more intrigued by, like, the human body itself. Musculature, action, pose, force, all that good stuff. And so, yeah, if I were to draw human portraits at all, they would definitely be. That should have curved, shouldn't it? Whatever. Full body. Oh, wait. Okay, so we know this makes contact with the ground, and we're out by a certain bit, so it should be like this. Yeah. So we could have used this to help us out. Pop-Tarts for dessert. Huge. What kind? You give strawberry Pop-Tart vibes. Not too happy with how this turned out, but I don't know what's wrong with it, so we'll leave that up to critique. Then we have that little solid segment. Strawberry called it. And yeah, this is like the lower, like it's in between these two. So we can actually use that to our advantage and plot. Is this the center? It looks like it. And your guys' guess is as good as mine in this. It's so complicated. But, you know, in terms of drawing humans and stuff, while I think faces are cool, I don't know. Like both male and female, mostly male, but also female body, or human body structure in general. It's very cool to me. Oh my gosh, I'm like losing it. I guess I drew the wrong line somewhere, because that is, I'm not seeing the line I just drew. I need to rewatch the recording for that. So here's a center and here's a center. I can actually. Once I'm finished with Drawbox, I'm heading over to New Masters Academy. Very excited to pursue their courses, specifically FODAP, Fundamentals of Drawing and Perspective, and then whatever gestures course they can hand to me. And I'm gonna dive into gesture as hard as I can. I love gesture so much. It's hard, and like it's funny. The things I grew up being decent at drawing or like doodling was like machine. This is what I grew up doing. Architectural drawings, engineering drawings, whatever it may be. This is what I grew up doing, and so like I've always been comfortable and relatively confident with this. But and so I thought like I would hate, especially I thought I would hate and suffer with lesson 5, but man, I love it. It's so awesome. Looking back at my drawings, they're awful and I hate them, and I probably couldn't do better now. I probably maybe could, but yeah, man. So we want, here's the midpoint. So this is where that kind of like center portion of the mouse will be. And it's interesting because it aims down quite a bit. We could even push the wheel further, I think. Yeah, screw it. Let's do like another 1/8. Let's divvy it up more. Because we won't, I mean, I'm gonna be gone for a month, Kat. So I'm trying to get in as much lesson 6 as possible before here and there. Because I'm gonna be drawing, I mean, literally today. I was working on the freaking, I mean, for the past couple days, or like 2 days, whatever drawing, the freaking Captain America wolf drawing, which I'm still super upset about. It was going so well until I inked it, dude. That was whatever, man. But yeah, I've been doing that. So like, my budget's reached, and I'm gonna be drawing a lot of 50% or just drawing, at that point, over the time that I'm gone. So since I want to be done with lesson 6 rather soon, yeah, we're pushing our time in now. Where did I put my ruler? Okay, so now, is this where I want it? Yeah, the wheel, and the wheel could be like right here. That feels somewhat correct. Oh, it does have this flatter part though, and we can do that like right here. So we'll have a line, and it'll follow the rule of similar lines. So right here. Law of similar lines. We actually don't have many lines to base off of right here, so we're pulling out the big ruler. Forgot to unsheath it. There we go. Make sure we're using the correct side that doesn't cause marks on the page. Let's find that VP. Oh, this is assuming... No. We're good. Yeah. Nice. And now I'm going to draw a helper line through here. That was a bit too dark. Oops. And then I'm going to guesstimate this. A lot of guesstimation. Lesson 6. Nice. And we'll start making some lines. It's funny, whenever I use my ruler lines and I want like those darker ones, I actually like do a line and then offset it a tiny bit to make it feel like, you know, because these were done with the human hand, so there's error, right? So to make these feel a little bit the same and to like artificially increase the line weight, I shift the ruler a bit. So I'm gonna have to do the same here. Now we can law of similar lines this a little bit. I mean, it looks okay. I'm not too upset with how it looks, just performance wise, I feel like we could have done much better. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna drop it because it starts to kind of curve downwards about right here. And it actually overlaps the wheel a little bit. I'm not sure how much I want to do that because that sounds like a pain, but I think doing this. This is going to be a weird tangent line, but I think it's the best we're going to get out of this. We have a little notch right here. Law of similar lines time. It's actually going to be quite parallel to our axis right here. Nice. We draw the button a bit. I'm so used to having to like draw over here because I don't want to like get this over chat, but okay. So circle time. I would want the circle to occupy this space, which sucks. I really wish we drew this in the first place. Would have helped me because now we have all of this mess to kind of like sort through. But ideally, so yeah, we shifted everything to the side by 1/8. So and this line is deceptive. Here, I'd say like yeah, the tallest point of the ellipse is probably right here. So what is our closest measurement to that? That looks like 1/3 of our center plane. Yeah. So I'll craft 1/3. Somewhere. We'll do 1/3 right here. Upper third. I basically want to create a bounding box for this ellipse. Law of similar lines. Yeah, we're looking okay there. And then let's see, we want a horizontal third. So we're going to draw the arrow pointing horizontally. And we have our first contact point, second contact point. There's our third. When you stream, do you use usually according to my time zone? Somewhat, yeah. Yeah. So whenever I post stuff, I'll say like 7:30 p.m. CT. Now for my own privacy, I won't say if I actually live in that time zone. But yeah, I generally use it for streams. Also, I'm gonna be right back, guys. We're gonna go into beer. I'll stop the timer, and then we're gonna come back and continue our ellipse. So beer back. And we're back. Cool. So yep, we have our third set down, which happened to be a nice accidental line. So I guess I want to set that as the top of my wheel. And I want my wheel to span from here at its corner. Maybe we do want it to be higher, maybe a fifth even. Hydrate, will do. Because one thing I realized is even at its highest point, like suppose it's right here, then it's going to seem really sunken in. So either we do it right here, which let's go with a fifth. We'll go with a fifth. So that means we have to crowd our page more with another line. Also, I realized I turned the AC on a bit ago, and it's going. It's cold. So yeah, we can rather easily do a fifth by. Let me try to remember the equation for a fifth. It's going to be upside down actually, because we want a vertical fifth. Let's go over here and. So we have this line. And then this line. Here and here. And checks out with the law of similar lines. I need to stop calling it that. That isn't much higher. But for the sake of it, we'll do that. If we want to assume it's a square now, because I want to go from here, like I said, to probably here. No. This is so off, and I don't know why. It should be like this. Whatever. 3/8 does seem like enough. Let's check our reference. Yeah, we'll try it. Oh, no. That isn't our absolute corner. We're going to be a bit sunken in to this. So actually, we'll have it about right here, which is a 1/4 of an eighth. Or sorry, 16th, not a 1/4 of an eighth. Ah. Almost put salt. Were you an absolute beginner when I started this channel? Yes, with a small caveat. I did try learning to draw when I was like probably 13 or something. And literally all I did is I bought like a Udemy course for $15, drew an eye, traced a ton of work and called it my own, and then like drew the same thing like 80 times for like 3 sketchbooks. So yeah, no, I would consider myself an absolute beginner. I did work in a machine shop / like engineering, and so I got used to like 3D modeling a bit and like drawing, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Kat. Yeah, I like the pencil version much better than that. You almost put salt in the pantry. It doesn't go there. Where do you keep your salt? I mean, like, my salt that I keep next to my stove for cooking, and then, like, I have my salt reserves in the pantry. So, yeah, this is where we want to start right here. This will be the edge. Then we're going to go over here to here. Yeah. I like that. More. Be greedy. Abzu. On the counter where you were standing. Are you going to do a big graduation celebration, Jims? What's the timer? So the goal and kind of the motto of this channel is to do something that we love for an hour a day. So the first timer you saw was our warm-up timer, so spending about 10 minutes-ish warming up. And then, yeah, we try to aim for an hour. Sometimes we're under, sometimes we're over. It's more of just like a, hey, here's how much time, like keeping track of time. Some streams will hide it so I don't like distract myself with how long we've been drawing. But yeah, it's just kind of a reminder of what we're here for, all that good stuff. So here is the top of our square. And it goes 1. Oh, that's such a weird number. Okay, so let's consider this 1 unit. 0.5. So 1.75 units. So 1. Now we need to do that vertically. Oh, but that assume, yeah, we can't ensure a square. Ugh. I'll have dinner with my family. Huge. It's winter, true. Dinner sounds awesome. Maybe in the spring. That would be cool. What was your favorite class? You don't have to be like specific and name names or things, but like what was the let's say the coolest thing you've done in college? It doesn't have to be related to college, but like you're like, holy crap, this happened and it was cool. You're most like, holy, I adventured. We're playing the square game again, guys. I hate the square game. Squid games, no. These are almost square, so we can use them as a heuristic. So we can understand that. What line am I using? Oh, that's the third of a unit. Oh gosh. Okay, so. Oh god, this is gonna be awful. Made a robot arm and presented it. Heck yeah. That is cool as hell. So let's see. We're already 2/3 until the middle, and we need 1.75, which is equal to 7/4. So that means 2/3 is 9/12, and 7/4 is 21/4, which means we have remaining, or 21/12, which means remaining we have 1. Right? We just have 1 unit. 2/3. Right, 21. You're right. That should make sense, though. 7/4. Oh yeah, it's approximately 1 and like almost a 16th. Have I watched Squid Game? I have. And interned at a high class place. Huge. I like the first one. I haven't. Yeah, so I watched the first season and then I didn't watch any of the others because I was like, the first one did what it needed to do, right? Like it told me a story. It was a great, awesome, amazing story. I really liked the first Squid Game. And then everything after that, I didn't care about. Because like, why? Just because it's a sequel does not mean it's good. So yeah, 2/3. Oh wait. No, I'm stupid. That's how much is remaining. 1 unit is remaining, I think. So if we just go here, and I went a little bit over, see that seems square. Okay, we'll do that. We'll use the law of similar lines here. Ay. Whoa, I did that poorly. Wouldn't be a Kavel stream without mistakes like that, though, so. I was thinking of Christmas buying a shirt with gravel on it. I was like, that's a bit too egotistical. I don't know. And plus, I could just make one if I really wanted it that bad. 3D looking mouse, thank you. I'd hope it's 3D. We use quite a few boxes for this. Actually, technically 1, but maybe I will get McDonald's cat. We'll see. Like I can touch it. Huge. And then like, so it looks fancy right now, and then it focuses, and you're like, holy crap. Yeah, look, so like white balance, like wait for the white balance to kick in, and it's like kind of gets blurred away, right? All the smaller lines, look at that. It's slowly getting blurred away. But then I bring it to the screen, it's like, oh shoot. Oh crap. Oh my god, it's awful. Okay. Focus, Cav, focus. So we're gonna draw an ellipse. Outer Wilds, let's go. Okay, so our ellipse contacts these points. The minor axis is going to drive through here. I think it's right there. Yeah, that's the point we're going to be drawing the minor axis through. I lost it. There it is. Okay, don't lose it. I lost it. Okay, it's right there. Don't lose it. Okay. Disgusting? What do you mean disgusting? That's rude. Oof. Not in a rude way, but you said ew. How is that not supposed to be rude? Alrighty. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for the follow, Akira. I really wish you best of luck in your job hunt and your 3D animations and drawing. And I hope we see you sometime soon. Have a good one and sleep well. Okay, so there's our minor axis. Didn't really help that I drew that because it's so like hard to see everything. Okay. Here we go. You can see my microphone right here because I'm like really leaning in. That's our minor axis? That's ridiculous. Kat, that still doesn't explain why you said ew. Your words have meaning, they have weight to them. And calling people's art, especially the stuff that they're learning, ew is kind of rude. You're fine. I'm just pressing you to be a bit more wary of the stuff you say. Alright, so now we need to give our mouse wheel some volume. Uh-oh. Kat, Jim says you need to behave. If you're not going to listen to me, you better listen to her. You don't want to get on her bad side. She put it like a smile next to it, too. Like a very intimidating one. Like a calm before the storm smile. She says, I've been well behaved. You know what? This stream, I'll agree. You've been well behaved. You get four Kavel coin. Did you guys know that I have infinite Kavel coin? I don't know why it says it. I just have the infinity symbol next to the Kavel coin. I could disrupt the market. I could devalue the already rather valueless Kavel coin. Oh wait, here's how I can extrude it. I can do a little tick mark for every point that it passes through. So, tick mark. Be a cat. You were talking about the Game Awards earlier, and I forgot to talk about this on stream. I was relatively disappointed with the Game Awards, not because Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won everything. I'm actually quite okay with that. It is kind of boring that it got a sweep, but I don't really care too much about that. It's a great game. I've heard amazing things and I've watched some gameplay of it. I felt a bit upset at Jeff Keighley for like a world premiere that everyone's been waiting for, and it's like freaking like Mega Man's cool. That one game, okay, hot take. That one game, I'm sorry, looks boring. The last one that they revealed, and of course I had my hopes up for Half-Life. Of course I did, and I didn't get to see any Half-Life. So there was no guarantee, of course, but so I set myself up for failure in that one. But overall, just a very meh Game Awards. Whoever that comedian was during the what was it, the oh my god. Oh my god, what's the game called? Mortal Kombat, during the Mortal Kombat bit where he was like, here's the old act. That was a terrible joke, dude. That wasn't funny. Yeah, no, my friends were betting for Sonic, and they all said, how much did Nintendo pay them? I've heard amazing things. I barely remember the Sonic one. I bet, like, it's just because Nintendo has such a large audience. That's the whole reason it won in comparison. But yeah, Nintendo. That's why they get booed. True. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was at one point someone booed for something during the Game Awards. I can't remember what it was for. Why is Todd Howard at the Game Awards? Just saying. I'm not very Bethesda oriented right now. Yeah, yeah, I'm so sorry to hear, James. And like, there's a saddening, growing distance between the Game Awards and I. I don't play most of the games on there. So my voice just isn't that valid. I'm excited for Control 2. I'm very excited. Yeah, so the scroll wheel is forward by a lot. Oops. Let's do that button and then the side buttons, and we'll call it for our mouse construction. I'm just going to kind of vibe out the button here. I'm not going to do any major construction. Yeah. This one was tough. I feel like Uncomfortable's demo wasn't necessarily satisfactory for what we needed to learn this. And of course, just ellipses are hard as hell. Should we even do the buttons? Do we even care enough to do the buttons? Uncomfortable really just kind of tacked them on there. Satisfactory. He said it. He said the thing. Let's see. This one kind of intercepts over here. So I'm going to do this, and then there's a gap between them. And this over here. And then this one kind of flows forward, goes out. Sure, buttons. They have the beveled edges on them, which I think uncomfortable kind of, yeah, he highlighted, so we'll do that as well. And these like little, I'm not going to draw those. Cool. So that is it for the mouse demo. Here's our EU construction, as said by Kat. What did we learn? Okay, first with the orthos, keep it simple, stupid. I shouldn't have done that many thirds and fifths everywhere unless I should have done thirds in the major ones instead of the minor, like smaller, like eighths and quarters. I need a unity between the top and bottom, or the side and bottom ortho. What this means is this corner right here, I didn't account for this rounding out right here. So instead what we had is a very strange kind of like line that picks up as it rounds, which isn't technically correct. Do ellipsis beforehand. I don't know why Uncomfy didn't include that in the whatever it's called. So doing that beforehand would have saved me a lot of time. Only worry about the silhouette for these two, only worry about details, or these two planes, only worry about details on the outside. I don't like how my ellipse looks right here, so try to minimize searching lines with ellipses. That looks pretty crap. Other than that, though, everything's generally okay. So we're going to call it there, everybody. Tomorrow, we're probably going to work... tomorrow's stream will be at, I think, 10 or 11 a.m. Probably 10:30 a.m. I want that. And then we're going to be gone for a couple days. And then streaming, hopefully by next Wednesday, until the 23rd, because I'm celebrating Christmas on the 24th and leaving for Singapore then. So only a couple more days left, guys, before the turn of the year and the birthday, channel's birthday and all that. So, yeah, once again, thank you all for joining, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.